Hi guys, welcome back. We are going to review, as in the title, the Conductors Club. Let's see, here we go. Gotta love this camera. Sometimes it focuses, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, it's the Broadway Limited Conductors Club Limited Edition Union Pacific Challenger. This happens to be 3985, which did run in the excursions, and as I alluded to in one other video, this now completes the trifecta, if you will, of UP Steam for me that did excursion service. Uh, was in, say, the past 25, 30 years, give or take. Um, the first, of course, being the FEF, the 484, number 844, and then the UP Challenger, and then of course the current one, the Big Boy. So that being said, I elected to get this one, and of course, like I said, it completes my collection as far as UP Steam goes for excursion service. It's really overall a very good locomotive. From what I've heard from other people, it's a re-release, except this one has Paragon 4, where the original, I believe, was Paragon 3. I could be wrong. So I'm not familiar with all the features that the original had, the original that Broadway Limited released. Um, but I'm really satisfied with the features that this one does have. Um, Now, when they released the Big Boy, my Big Boy is Paragon 4, and that one had a smoking whistle, which I'm glad to say they put with this one as well. You have to have the smoke unit on, obviously, for it to work. If you don't have the smoke unit on, it doesn't work. But let's talk about the smoke unit for just a second. And I really need to do some research. From what I mean, I don't understand all of it, but a recent discovery I had, and I don't see it mentioned too much anywhere else, but I'm going to let you guys know since you're my viewers, is the Big Boy and other ones in Paragon 4, or Paragon 3, or actually any, okay? Broadway Limited is as soon as you hit the startup or it moves, the smoke starts chugging, okay? And then you have to hit F7 if you don't want any smoke, and you have to be pretty quick. Well, I've discovered now in Paragon 4, at the very least, okay, if you use CV, let's see, where's it at? CV number 246, okay, so, and I didn't need a programming track for this. I was able to do this on the main. If you set CV 246 to 0, it will reverse the function. In other words, you start this up and the smoke unit will not automatically start. Okay, so that's a good thing. If you want the smoke, you hit F7. If you don't, it's just gonna chug along without smoke as soon as you start it up. So I went and now, if you look, they'll say in the manual there's a switch. There wasn't a switch on my daylight, which is a recent release in Paragon 4. That's DSP Daylight 484. The GS4 is the nomenclature. There wasn't a switch under the cab, at least not that I could see. I could be wrong, but anyway, I checked that one and I was able to turn that off as well. So my GS4 I could run all day, no smoke, not worry about, oh, I have to hit F7 now to every time something I want to start it up or shut it down. Not going to happen. Till I hit the F7, it's fine. So let's take a little bit closer look at this one. And what we're going to do, I've already got it programmed and set to go on my Prodigy Elite. So what we do is the usual F9. And I will say this, that Broadway, they almost every time, it's the same startup sequence for their Steam. It's kind of sad, but I guess it works for them, so that's what they go with. Okay, so I already had the thing set up, the dynamo's spinning up, and the lights are on. Now we're going to hit F8, okay, which is your mute. Because I don't need to hear that. And I would like to be able to talk over it. Well, we'll come back to the sounds in a minute. I'm more concerned right now. I want to show you the lighting, okay? So let's switch cameras and we'll look at the front. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to turn this light off. Okay, so there it is in some darkness. And you can see that it has obviously the headlight, the number boards are lit, and you have the marker jewels. Now there are lighted marker lights, on the rear end. If you're familiar at all with their big boy, it's an HO. It's the same exact setup. Okay, they're green on the sides and red on the back end. So that's how it would look, on the rear. So let's switch this back, and we'll go to, where are you at? Oh, that's the wrong thing. How about that? Back camera. Okay, so there we go. So we can turn this light back on now so you can see this a little bit better. So let's run through some sounds. Okay, so we did F9. F9 is your startup. Okay, so F1, that's your bell. Okay, and now the whistle is this. Okay, so it will go as long as you hold it. And then the other functions, I'm going to show you the smoke in just a minute. Let me tell you, this thing will chuck the smoke like there's no tomorrow. Okay, they have upped their game significantly on Paragon 4s when it comes to the smoke. I've noticed that. I wasn't real happy with the Paragon 3s with the smoke, and definitely not the Paragon 2s, because it just didn't seem to work as well. But these will work very well. Okay, so some of your other functions, you got your coupler slack, you got air pumps, blow down, water fill. Again, the smoke, we covered an F7, and mute, which we're doing right now. Your startup shutdown is 9. You've got a coal shovel or auger. Well, obviously this would have an auger, but these are oil, so I don't know what that does, if it does anything. Your water injectors, brake set. There is a grade crossing. Let me see if I can get that to work. Sometimes I need to use the other. Let's see. What's grade crossing 13? Nope. Okay. That didn't work. That's fine. I don't mess with grade crossing as much because I said this in another video. They're not all set up the same way. Some are really quick. Some are a long period of time. So getting to figure it out, your best bet, and honestly the easiest way to do it, is just practice. Okay, find a spot. You got to blow two longs, a short and a long, as you're going through the crossing. As long as you find a decent place to start it, you're fine. Um, so then we have the usual uh, between F14 and what is it at 21, like your passenger announcements, freight, farm, industrial, lumber. Okay. F22 toggles to a second horn. Not haven't used it. 23 is track sounds. Then you have auxiliary light control. Your long whistle, play a macro, start or stop a recording, and then brake squeal. So that's basically all the functions. Do I use them? Not really. What I do use is obviously the horn, or the whistle, not a diesel. Use the whistle, use the bell, and that's pretty much all you really need when you're operating. Um, it does operate very smoothly. So I think what we'll do is we'll turn on briefly the smoke unit, which is, like I said, I reversed it. So F7 is off right now. I'm going to turn F7 on. And you can see the smoke starting to rise. Okay. And so now we'll try the horn, or the whistle rather. Now I haven't used this in a while, so let me just reverse here. Now you can see it's smoke going. Now that's only on speed step 2. Okay, so we're gonna stop it here. Let it come back into the picture, and we'll reverse it. Now it's gonna go forward. We'll put it 2 speed steps. That's speed step 1. There's speed step 2. Now you see the smoke and whistle. Okay, we shut the smoke unit off. And we'll stop right there. Okay, so now I shut the smoke unit back off again. And you can see it's gone away pretty quick. I do like that. The fact that it doesn't take a lot to start, to get it going. So that's pretty much it. I mean, overall, it's a great locomotive. If you ordered one, hey, you know where I'm coming from. Um, Unfortunately, this was for a limited release, Conductors Club only. So if you paid your $30, um, you got one. Okay, I mean, you were able to buy one, I should say. This one or the other variables, I think there was probably 3 or 4, um, plus stealth ones. If you wanted to go that route, and use your own decoder from ESU or whomever. I just went with Broadway's, whatever that they use, their own brand, whatever. And I'm kind of happy with it. Well, I'm very happy with it actually. Um, I'm sad that it took a while for it to get to me. Combination of it took Broadway over a week to figure out, they needed to send me one. Uh, and then the mail system, it just isn't what it used to be. You know, anything going south is fine. It gets there in just a few days. Matter of fact, I sent my S2, my Pennsylvania Railroad S2 locomotive needed some repairs. I shipped that out on a Monday, and guess what? It got there on a Friday. No problem whatsoever, went straight through. But stuff coming up from Florida up to the Pennsylvania line, it's a roll of the dice. Anything coming north is a roll of the dice because us northerners are stupid. Okay? So the mail system ain't what it used to be. So, anyway, I think that's all we got to say about that. Um, I know this is a short and sweet video, but there really isn't a whole lot to say about it. Um, if you still want one, maybe you find one on eBay. Um, it's hard to say, but you just might. I haven't looked, but you just might. Aside from that, sorry guys, but it is what it is. So with that, I'm going to conclude our video today. And like I said, I know it's short. Why isn't this working? Oh, we're going to figure this out. Oh, okay. That's not that. Okay. So we're going to conclude this today. And I hope you had a good time. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.